Okay, so today we're going to be making a little bit of a redstone video. So here we've got 4 farms, as you saw in the title or description. We are going to have 4 small to, I would say, micro farms for early game usage, mid game usage, even late game usage, because some of these you don't need a lot of. For instance, this small cactus farm, it's super simple, produces a tiny bit of cactus at a time, so if you ever just need to grab a tiny bit of cactus, then obviously you can. So we'll start off with this one, which is very, very small. You can fit this in almost any space in your base, honestly. If you can't fit this in your base, I don't know what you can fit in there. So let's start the little tutorial. First, you're going to place down block, another block over here, then grab a hopper, chest, and then where you place that second block, you got 2 blocks like this, chest, hopper. Then you're going to want to sort of like put some farmland and a piece of dirt on top of that, and then behind this you're going to put a water source. So we're going to grab some farmland, put that on top of the hopper. So the reason we're putting the farmland on top of the hopper is because hoppers can actually collect items through farmland. So if I say drop this piece of quartz on it, then it does collect it. Then we're going to collect some we're going to grab some melon seeds, plant them here, and we'll just let that start growing while we finish the build here. So then we're going to grab an observer, a dropper. I guess no, that's not what I need. We'll grab a piston, and then we're going to need a stair block, slab, and then a bit of redstone dust. And that's about it, honestly. So we're going to put our piston right here, and then we're going to put our sorry, we need to grab a redstone torch. Forgot about that one. So you're going to need to grab a redstone torch. So this block is actually going to have 2 purposes. It's going to prevent the water source from flowing away here, and it's also going to act as a power source. So we're able to just grab this, place that, and do that, and then, sorry, not that, and then it's going to power a melon anytime it goes through here, so the redstone signal will be put through, and then we're going to put down a dropper and that observer. Now, the idea behind this is simply that the observer will detect the dropper being powered and then power a bit of redstone dust, which is conducted to the block. Ooh, got a little backwards here. Other way around. There we are. And so then you get sort of this thing. So then you're going to put your stair like, not like that, like that, and then you're going to grab your slab. Now remember, any of these sort of like building block type things can be anything really. And then you're going to grab some water, waterlog this stair. So obviously this works for any version where waterlogging is a thing, but also you can just sort of like put a block back here and put some water down there. It really works either way. It doesn't really matter. So then you're going to grab some more of these whole blocks, and you're going to aim at the tiny hitbox of that little growing stem, if you can find it, that is. In this case, I think I'll just do this. So then the idea here is we're going to place just some blocks around here, make sure nothing sort of pops out when this piston does it, and then we'll grab a little bit of glass, put that on top, mainly because you can't put a block on top, otherwise the stem won't grow because it's not receiving light, so it'll never produce a pumpkin. And then I believe that is everything done. So the way this works is you get a melon, and then every time it grows, it's broken like that. So, ooh, sorry, that roof isn't supposed to be there. Then it doesn't work. That's my bad. So, just each time a melon were to grow, I'll actually take some bone meal and exemplify that. So, we will actually take all these melons out, and then we'll do the rest of the thing, see if any melons have grown. So basically all that happens is every time a melon grows, this little piece of redstone dust causes the melon to be powered, which causes the dropper to fire, and the observer updates, powering the piston, shoots it over, falls on that, goes through the hopper and into the chest, so that it all ends up in here. Pretty simple. Now this next one is actually even simpler. Yeah, crazy, right? It can get simpler than that. But this one is kind of requiring a disclaimer in a way, actually. Simply because the cactus there's only 3 and they grow not very often, and occasionally when they do grow, the cactus will pop off and land on the same cactus it grew from and cause it to break itself. So basically sometimes the items disappear. So I mean, the farm isn't perfect, I wouldn't say, but it's a very nice source of cactus if you only need, say, like, I don't know, like 10 at a time every once in a while, you know. So this one is very, very quick to build here. As you can see, I'm just building it up in a matter of seconds here. It's just a couple of quartz and you break those 3 blocks, and then all that happens is every time a cactus grows, it realizes it's next to a block, breaks, and sometimes it falls into the hopper, so occasionally you get some cactus growing in there. Next, we have our little automatic chicken farm. Now this one's going to be a little more complex. So in here we have a bunch of chickens. They lay eggs. They fall into this hopper, and then the hopper feeds them into this dropper, and then every time an egg goes in there, so we'll just grab some eggs. Every time an egg goes in there, it's automatically shot out by this. So what happens is the comparator detects that there's stuff in the hopper, the dispenser, and then it starts this, and then it fires this piston, which starts an observer clock, and then it activates this repeater, which goes into this, so it causes this to fire repeatedly. It does stop the hopper for a second, but that doesn't really make a difference for anything. And then this up here, we use this daylight sensor as like a portable timer, and then every time this daylight sensor updates, which is like I think about 20 times a day or so, the daylight sensor will update, the observer detects that, sends a little redstone pulse, and then that turns it into 2 updates. So then this dispenser is fired twice, and there's a little lava bucket inside there, so it's fired and then immediately retracted, so it causes all the chickens to get cooked. So this gets filled up with cooked chicken. It was there a minute ago, it removed it because it was piling up a little bit, because it is fully automatic, because with other animal farms they do need to be like bred and such, but since the eggs are automatically laid and dispensed, they don't really need to be picked up at all. And finally here we have our oh, sorry. Gotta do our little tutorial for this. That's my fault. So, this one's a little more complicated, but it's really nice because it is one wide for the majority of the part.